Training balance scale has two sections. One section is the thinking or the why of what you're doing. And this includes the thoughts, your dreams, your goals, your attitude, and your mental process. So that's the one side of the training balance scale. And the other side is the action steps. So on the training balance scale, we have what you think on one side and what you do on the other side. Now, why is this important? Because all our lives, I know all my life, I was raised, work hard, and then you'll get your dream. No, it's not the way it is. You dream hard, and then you get the work to get the dream. Now, this was something that blew my mind because nobody's like, what are you talking about? This is true, and I want you to get this. So if you say to me, I don't care what you do for a living or what your dreams are, I want to be XYZ. I say to you, can you see yourself being XYZ? Do you visualize yourself having XYZ? Did you make up a dream board that shows you being an XYZ? Do you see yourself in that position? Do you see yourself happy? Do you believe it's true? Do you have the right attitude? Are you excited? Are you happy? Do you get up every day just jumping out of bed because you can't wait to chase your dream? If you can't tell me yes, you ain't there. And you missed the boat. Because that's the first thing you got to have is the dream. Once you have the dream, the actions will follow. Forget the action. Work on the dream. I worked on the action my whole life without the dream. I used to think, well, I don't want to dream too big because if I don't get what I want, I'm going to be disappointed. That's how I was kind of trained. I was trained to think rationally and work hard. And then if I work hard enough and save my pennies and find a way to invest or do whatever, I'll one day have my dream. That is incorrect. And whoever's parents have taught us that, I'm sorry that they taught you that, but you got the wrong information because they got the wrong information and their parents gave them the wrong information. This is the right information. 99.9% of your success is in your mind. You have to dream and think big, and then the actions will come after you've thought about the dream. You cannot suppress your dreams. You cannot forget your dreams. You guys don't dream. I know, I've talked to you. I've been talking to you guys for years, and I can tell which of you is the dreamers and which of you are not just by talking to you. You got work to do. You guys are not dreaming. You tell me how things won't work. You tell me why this doesn't work. You criticize that. You'll tell me that. Where's your dream, man? You're not dreaming. You're just criticizing. Dream, think, create, and then you can have whatever you want. And don't criticize anybody. Don't criticize anybody. Embrace people that have faults and teach them. And love them, even though they might try to hurt you in some ways, and you'll end up even better because you killed them with kindness. And you shared love, and that's actually better than trying to hate people, or trying to dislike people, or trying to resent people. That's another secret. You should love everybody, even when they try to kick you when you're down. You should love them anyway. It's true. Might be hard in practice, but you know what? When you practice enough, it gets really easy. It's not that hard for me anymore. I mean, I might have a good fight every once in a while, but I could flip it off in a second, and I can love that person the next day after I went home and cooled off by myself. But a person that's really in control will not lose their temper. They will not yell. They will not scream. And I've done that plenty of times, you know. I don't like to do that, but sometimes people rub me the wrong way, and I flip. But I'm training not to do that anymore. And the fact that I could discuss it with you openly means I don't really have an issue with it. And you can judge me for it if you want. I really don't care because I'm not worried about what you think about me. Because I know my heart's in the right place and I'm coming from a sincere place. And I don't want anything from you. I'm trying to give you something. Because I know if I give you something, something nice will come back to me. Because it's the right thing. That's all. Simple and easy. Okay. Now, there's a great myth that we should balance these two things. We're supposed to balance our thoughts and our actions. And that's completely untrue. Which way are we supposed to tick the balance? What's 99.9% of this, guys? What is it? The brain, the mind, which has nothing to do with the physical brain. The mind is up here and the brain is in your skull. I'm talking about your mind. I'm talking about freeing your mind to dream and build. Dream every day. Put it in context, put it on paper, read it, look at it, cement it into your mind, and you'll continue to grow. Okay, So there's one more last rule to this that we have to cover. This is rule number 4. And this one gets a little confusing because the wording is a little bit hard to understand, but I'm going to give you an analogy after we get done and make it easy for you. When you process new information, there's 4 steps you're going to go through. All right? The first step is called unconscious incompetence. And what that means is, in other words, I don't even know what I don't know. In my own unconscious, I don't know it. And I don't even know I don't know it. So that means I'm unconsciously incompetent at whatever it is this subject is. All right? And we all go through this. And I'm going to give you an example when I get done with the 4 rules. The second aspect of this one rule is, the next step is where you're consciously incompetent. So now you go from unconscious to conscious, where you realize, you know what? I don't really know this stuff. I just saw it, and I didn't even know it existed. Now I know I don't know it. That's conscious incompetence. And then the next phase is conscious competence, where you do it long enough, now you know that you kind of know it. And then in the last phase, we call that unconscious competence. Unconscious competence is something that's just part of your essence. And here's the example. Tying your shoelaces. When you were a little kid and Mommy and Daddy came up and said, "Hey, Joey, do you know how to tie your shoelace?" You said, you never thought about it before. You're like, I don't know. And you tried tying your shoelace and you realize you didn't know it, but you tried it, and then you realize you didn't know how to do it, so you went from unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence. Then you practiced tying your shoelace for a couple of weeks or months, and after a lot of practice, you became consciously competent, right? Where if you practice enough, you can do it. And then after all these years of tying your shoelaces, if I asked you guys to bend down and tie your shoelaces, as long as you don't have back problems that you can't fix, you guys would all just bend down, yeah, I'll tie my shoelace. You don't have to think about it anymore, because now you have unconscious competence in tying your shoelace. Does that make sense to everybody? Every bit of new information is exactly like that when you're learning it. And you can't bypass these steps. So if somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, I've got this new information for you," and you go, "Yeah, I already know that," your teachability index is very low, and chances are you're probably at unconscious incompetence because you don't even want to admit to yourself you don't know it. That's like when you try to tell a teenager that you're trying to give them advice, and they go, "Yeah, I know." I'm like, "No, you don't know, because if you knew, you wouldn't have said that to me." And they look at me like, "What, Dad? What do you want today?" I'm like, "No, it's all right. You guys don't understand." So the point is that if you do something enough and it becomes part of your essence, that's when you've arrived, so to speak. And then you want to continue to grow from that point on and continue with what you're learning. Okay. So at this point, I think we're in pretty good shape, and I've covered a good amount of what I wanted to cover, and I know I've gone very long, but I'm going to just finish it up. So I don't know how long I went, I apologize. 2 minutes left. Perfect timing. God, I'm okay. All right. So I wanted to end this by saying that if anybody has any interest in what I spoke about tonight, understand that there is a way that you can get this information and you can learn this information, and I want to help you learn it because I'm learning it myself. And there are groups of people that are giving this information out that we can become part of. What I would suggest is, if you're interested in learning more about this, there's 14 hours of what I just said on here in detail. You really need to listen to this. So if you're interested in getting your hands on this CD series, I will help you get it. I actually have a few copies. For those that are really serious, I will loan you my copy and not sell it to you, because I don't want to sell it to you. But you won't have to pay for it as long as you return it to me in 7 days. That means you're going to have to study 2 hours a day. And if you're willing to give me 2 hours a day of study time, I'll give you my CD series complimentary for a week. But no more than a week, because I got to have it back, because I got to give it to somebody else. The other thing I just want to finish up by saying is I appreciate, I didn't know how you guys were going to take this information. I didn't know if you'd even sit for it. I thought maybe you'd be talking or chattering or snickering, but I have to say I respectfully bow my head and thank you, because you really listened, and I appreciate that. And it makes me happy to know that on my last official duty as president of the chamber that I was able to give you something, and I hope that I gave something to someone. And if I can ever do anything else for any of you, I'll be here, of course. But by all means, look me up, and we'll go on these journeys together, and we'll all succeed. So again, I thank you very much. Have a great holiday season, and I'll see you all later on, okay?